Okay. I'm very excited about this. I'm standing here with David Hussey. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just spill the beans like right up front. I'm just going to do it. Okay. He was Ronald McDonald for 14 years and 16 years.
Shortchanged.
Well, I can't do math and I'm also illiterate, but very excited. Thank you so much. We're pretty usually when we can't do numbers that make spells. Spelling. I can do spells. Anyway,
really?
Yeah, I'm a witch.
What
Anyway,
house were you?
Ravenclaw, obviously.
Okay.
What about you?
Gryffindor.
Okay.
I'm sad I didn't wear that. I almost wore that. We could have matched.
I
But
know.
you do it better than I
It
would.
would have been amazing.
I know.
But literally, he walked up to me and he smiled, and I was like, I know that smile.
sees
I
it.
know you're. It's like amazing.
Aren't I lucky?
So they did. So that was your nose the whole time.
Yes, it was.
They didn't do nothing at no red nose or anything.
No, I broke it twice growing up just so I could have it like this.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It was meant to be then. Meant to be. And you're here as a presenter. Tell me a little bit about the person you're presenting to, because I know they had a big part in your career and your life.
Huge. Greg Nelson, the great Greg Nelson. I was able to work with him for 16 years of his 40 years doing Ronald McDonald's face. But Greg has done makeup for anyone you can think of. We went to Vegas once and we saw Danny Gans, who does impressions of everybody. Every impression he did, Greg leaned over and went, I worked with him. Bing Crosby, Ray Bolger, from then to, Robert Downey Jr., Jennifer Aniston, you name anybody. He was on The Tonight Show, he did Hollywood Squares, he did tons of movies, tons of sitcoms, and me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So you're the one.
Way down there.
No, but it's you. No. You're way up there. It's very cool.
No,
I mean,
there were
making
a
kids
lot before me.
making a kid smile.
Aw,
The golden arches. Do you want to? I don't know. Yeah, do that. That's
Yeah.
That's it. I was like doing this, but it's more like a claw. I was making like a claw rainbow. Oh, we can do it together. Do it again. Together.
It's a team, a Mick team.
We did it. I'm gonna be the next one. I'm gonna be the next Ronald McDonald. Thank you so much. I just need lifts. Do you have to be tall?
Well, you can. I'll make you look tall.
Is it a tall person role?
I don't know. It was when I did it.
Yeah, you were pretty tall.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything about like when you were auditioning, like you must be tall.
I didn't hear the first audition. They just had you sing a song and read out of a dictionary, and they didn't tell you what it was. And then when I found out, I thought, yeah, that would fit, I guess.
What word did you read, just out of curiosity?
Oh, I don't know. That's good trivia.
Good one,
I
right?
wish I remembered.
Yeah, me too. Moses, like corpuscle or something really medical.
My grandfather would have been proud. He wanted me to be a doctor, but I can play one, right?
Canker sore.
I had one. Listerine helps canker sores. We're here for helping you.
We've gone. We've left the building. We're getting the wrap it up scene. They're like, get the hook. We're not. We could do this all night. We could do this all night. We need to do a show together.
Okay.
I'm in. Okay. See you later. Bye. You're so fun. This is unbelievable. I'm standing here with Greg Nelson, Lifetime Achievement Award recipient tonight for your unbelievable contribution to makeup throughout the years in this unbelievable industry. We just talked to Dave. You've been doing Ronald McDonald for
forever, since 1976.
I mean, and you've done every single person that has ever sat in a makeup chair of all time.
The only thing I've done. Yeah, I did a lot of beauty work and a lot of prosthetics and.
Yes, well, one of my favorite things that you did is Siempre Viva, live forever. How was my Isabella Rossellini? Was that good?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, she was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, what a great film to work on. Like, just Death Becomes Her. What iconic looks in that film.
When I turned around and was facing my makeup station and I listened to her talk, except for the accent, she sounded just like her mother. Really? Yeah, like Ingrid Bergman. Yeah, it was funny. She was so good.
Amazing. And she's kind of like reprising her role in Beauty right now on FX. Yeah. Very interesting. But also you've done some of my favorites. Batman Returns, like Hello, I'm a big, superhero kid.
V. Neal and myself did that makeup on Danny DeVito as the Penguin. So it was a lot of fun. Danny was great.
Oh my God. And Michelle Pfeiffer in that movie. It's a lot going on. I really love it. So what's it the process like with you? Do you start on say like a penguin? Do you start like in your world?
No, I didn't create it. I was just an applicator with V. But I've been an artist ever since I was a little kid, so I have a pretty extensive art background. So when I started doing makeup in the business, I worked a lot, and I wasn't necessarily in charge of a lot of shows, but all these people would hire me, and I'd come in and I'd do my work and I'd move on. And I day checked most of the time, which allowed me to work all over the place. And that's how I got to meet people.
And you were reliable. Unbelievable. They were just like, whatever we could do, you could do. Well, I'm telling you, look at your resume. Just scroll up. What about Thriller? Talk to me about Thriller. It's one of my favorite music videos of all time, still to this day.
I'll tell you something interesting about Thriller. When we were shooting, we had a break in the schedule. And when I was in the makeup trailer making up one of the zombies, I felt a presence in back of me by the door because my makeup station was right by the door. And I turned around, and it was Jackie Kennedy, because he would bring different celebrities to the set. And I thought, she's like 3 feet away from me. And but it was a lot of fun. The dance sequence took us 2 nights to shoot. And from dusk till dawn, really.
So you're going to tell me that the big surprise is that Jackie Kennedy was one of the zombies the whole time and you did her makeup?
Oh, no. She just came to visit. Like, he'd bring a lot of different people.
Just let me think that for like 10 more seconds, and then we can come back to busting my bubble. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You are so beloved in this industry, and it's going to be nice. You get to be completely celebrated for you tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're the star tonight. No, you are. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one.
Our next presenter is an actor, director, and former world-class icon. Our next presenter is an actor, director, and former world-class icon. Please welcome actor, director, and former world-class icon. Please welcome Mr. David Hussey.
Our next presenter is an actor, director, and former world icon. Please welcome Mr. David Hussey.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Hussey, and I was lucky enough to work with the great Greg Nelson for 16 of the 40 years he did the face of Ronald McDonald. Yep. Now that's a deceptively difficult and daunting makeup that Greg made look easy every day. When I first met Greg at the callback for the role, I knew he was a great artist just by the way he carried himself. And when I looked in the mirror and saw that finished face for the first time, I thought it was such a work of art, I made him sign it, which he reluctantly did with a brush and white pancake just under the base of my neck. And that became a tradition we did every time of the hundreds of days we worked together. Now, this is a pretty big deal for Greg, not just because of the award, which I know means a lot to him, but because he had to get dressed up. Yeah. In 27 years of being lucky enough to call Greg one of my best friends, I've never seen it. Some of you, I hear, know him, and you've never seen it. He's just not comfortable with it. I mean, he hyperventilates when we drive past a Men's Warehouse. But he looks great, and I'll be up here to spot him when he's talking. Greg was truly born to be an artist, and he's the best one I know in any medium, in any field. And he's also one of the best people you could ever meet. Down to earth, straight ahead, always true, incredibly humble, and with a signature common sense perspective. He's someone who makes you want to be a better you just by being him. Now, if Greg's sole contribution to the craft of makeup artistry was Ronald McDonald, he'd still be worthy of an award like this, but he did so much more.
Unfortunately for us, here to tell us about some of his side hustles, we're privileged to have an amazing actor that we all know from films like Walk the Line, Spy Kids, Charlie's Angels, and of course, as the T-1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, please welcome Mr. Robert Patrick!
Thank you. Good evening. I'm still waiting on my fries, David. With a career spanning over 50 years, Greg Nelson has left an indelible mark on the world of makeup and artistry. From his iconic contributions on Michael Jackson's Thriller, Batman Returns, and Death Becomes Her, Greg's artistry has earned him an Oscar nomination, 2 Emmy wins, and 2 additional Emmy nominations. Other films include Tropic Thunder, Harry and the Hendersons, Coming to America, Wolf, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. On television, his work has graced Star Trek Voyager and The X-Files, Crossing Jordan, Newhart, and of course, Scorpion, where I met him. And I must say, he came in and did an amazing age makeup on me. I think they aged me about 30, 40 years for this one episode. And I was just overwhelmed with his artistry, how natural it looked. And from an artist's point of view, to have that confidence that you look great when you're aged, it was just wonderful to have in my pocket as I went out there and played that role. So I've seen it firsthand, and he's amazing. Let's take a look at Greg's LinkedIn page, shall we?
I guess I didn't piss off that many people, or this wouldn't have happened. I always tried to have a good time at work and to have fun and to keep it light. But when I did work, I was very serious about it, and I honed in on what I did. I always put out 150% for my work every day. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been an artist, and I always liked drawing faces. As I got like 10 or 11, I remember my dad took me to...
The motion picture, The List of Adrian Messenger, is a mystery.
There were some actors who wore prosthetic makeup for disguises, and I got really fascinated by that. When I was in high school, I kind of dabbled in monster makeup and different character makeup and things like that. I'm from Chicago, so to be a Hollywood makeup artist is something that seemed a little far-fetched for me. We got a call from a costumer in Chicago, and he was doing some promotion for a movie called Frogs, and he wanted 2 people to wear frog costumes. The heads that were being made were not up to par. We just thought we could do better, so we made our own heads, and he was so excited as to what we had done that he wanted to start a business with us. After about 2 years, I sold out my half of the business, and I got in my car, and I drove out to California and started pounding the pavement. On my lunch break, I would call up all the studios and ask what it would take to become a makeup artist. And I finally got a hit at NBC. They were very pleased with what I had shown them. It was a potpourri of getting around and doing different makeups on different people and learning how to speak to people, too. That was a big part of it. Rick Baker called me to work on a project called Thriller, and it was the first of its kind, that type of video, and we had zombies and all this kind of stuff. And I was one of 20 makeup artists, and I was extremely grateful, but it was my first real prosthetic job. I came home one afternoon. It was McDonald's saying, "Are you available?" And I stayed on that account for 40 years. We went through 4 different Ronalds. I don't do work because it's easy. I do work because it's a challenge. I purposely never used a stencil, and every time I did, I tried to do it better. And that's just how I am. I think that comes from my artist background. For 50 years, I never worked.
I played for 50 years. The work part was getting up in the morning, finding the location, dealing with the people. If I'm at work, I can pick up that brush or sponge or whatever I'm using and start a makeup. I'm in heaven. I go to a different place and I'm creating as an artist. I'm awfully humbled by this award, to say the least. And I feel like it's the cherry on top. I've been retired for 7 years, and to have this come up in my life is like, whoa, I didn't expect it. And I didn't think that many people really knew of my work. I learned so much about seeing my dad get up and go to work at 6:30 every morning and work at a concrete plant. He would dispatch the trucks out and stuff. But I knew that really wasn't what he wanted to do. He taught me a valuable lesson about life and pursuing your dreams. And I just tried the hardest to do what I wanted to do because I thought that's what's really going to make me happy.
On behalf of myself, David, and Ronald, it is truly our honor to present the Guild Award for Lifetime Achievement in Makeup to Mr. Greg Nelson.
Coming right.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that this wasn't on my bucket list at all. I've been retired for 7 years, and when that big head said that I always thought I was stealth. I didn't think anybody even knew who I was, to be quite honest with you. And for those who haven't seen me, I'm Greg Nelson. And for those who have seen me and worked with me for all these years, probably don't recognize me because I'm not wearing my hat. And I think a lot of people probably thought I had it surgically implanted into my scalp, but I didn't. So I'm honored to receive this award, and I can't tell you the fun I had for the 50 years I've been playing, not working in this business. The hardest part of going to work was getting up in the morning, trying to figure out where I was going, dealing with some of the people that maybe I didn't want to deal with. But what he said is true. As soon as I got into the makeup trailer, and as soon as I picked up that brush or that sponge, I was in heaven. And I was in heaven for the hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or however long it took to do the makeups. So I never, for 50 years, I never had to go to work. And to be an adult at 24 years old and play all the way up until recent, that's a gift. And we should all be very thankful. We all should be very thankful, I think we are, that we're in a business that a lot of people want to be into and can't get in it for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have the talent, maybe they don't know the right people, who knows what it is. But anyway, when I came out here, I'm from Lyons, Illinois, which is a little suburb of Chicago, and I never thought I'd become a makeup artist. So when I was a little kid, I drew a lot. And when I was in third grade, and I was 7 years old at the time, I wrote a letter to Walt Disney, and I told him that I wanted to work for him. And believe it or not, I got a return letter, not from him, but from his secretary. And she was grateful for the little drawings I drew of Mickey and Minnie and Pluto and all that. And I sent my third grade picture of myself. And they finally
gave me recommendations for particular books to read about animation because coming from Chicago, I didn't think I could be a Hollywood makeup artist. I figured if I was in Chicago, I could do commercials and do animation. So when I went to art school after I got out of high school, that was my major. But I kind of got sidetracked in the makeup as soon as, like you'd heard, but when Planet of the Apes came out and I was like 18, I got hooked, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. I did get in my car. I had $250 to my name, and I drove across the country to Burbank. And I stayed with a friend, and he found out that I was getting a little further ahead than he was. He had been out here a whole year, and he was getting a little jealous, so he decided to kick me out of his apartment. And he figured if I had no money, I'd have to get in my car and drive home. So what I did was I called my dad, and I said, Dad, if I can get $350, I'm so close to becoming a makeup artist, I'll give myself 1 month. And if I don't make it in 1 month, I'll get in my car and I drove home. Well, I had an interview at NBC. I showed him my portfolio. Harry Blake was the department head at the time. And they were interested in what they saw in my portfolio. And I had some great makeup artists who already were working there. Tommy Cole, back then, was working at NBC. Another lady, Lisa Farron, was working at NBC. And Bobby Osterman was working at NBC. And those were my mentors. I learned so much from them, not only about makeup, but how to deal with people. Because I thought a lot of times 80% of our work is how we deal with the actor, actress, or production. And eventually I went from doing beauty work to doing prosthetics. And when I did Thriller, Rick had called me, and it was the first prosthetic job I ever did. And after I did that, he kind of liked what I had done, and he started picking me up on other shows and so forth. And then a few other people found out that I could do this type of work. And V. Neal was another makeup artist who worked me quite a bit. And Matthew Mungle was another makeup artist that worked me. So I'm so grateful to all of these people that without them I wouldn't be up here today, truly. And I've always taken my art seriously, even though I goof around a lot at work. But when I work with Robert, when you saw those makeups, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I don't like to rehearse too much. So when we did that makeup, we did 3 of those age makeups, and I had an assistant, Jamie Hess, who's a fantastic makeup artist. And she's one of the few people that can follow what I do, because I can't even do that. I mean, I really do fly by the seat of my pants. And those 3 makeups you saw in the different stages, we did those all in one day. They were stipple makeups. So we had no makeup test either. It was a 1 day's pay. So anyway, it was great, and I'll never forget that day. So anyway, thank you once again for honoring me, and I did not expect this whatsoever, and I'm so grateful that I was able to play for 50 years. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
To present this year's Vanguard Award, please welcome your ravishing red